Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be one which I wanted to get out now to let you know my pre-capsule wardrobe planning. So I've mentioned before that I want to go on this journey where I am creating myself a capsule wardrobe for autumn winter, and so I thought I'd share with you the 5 sort of steps I'm taking or have taken in order to kind of get myself prepared for that. So if that's something you think you'll be interested in, please do subscribe so you can kind of keep on with this journey with me. And I'm literally not going to ramble this time, I'm just going to get straight on into it. A tiny little bit of background about why I want to go on this journey. I think for me, I've just kind of got a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued of you know, the fast fashion, constant buying kind of cycle. I am thinking a bit more about sustainability, and I don't know if it's something to do with me having my first child, but I'm just feeling like I want to be a bit better and also just things to be a little bit easier for myself as well. Like, I was so exhausted with going into my wardrobe and being overwhelmed with everything that I've got, just it being a mess, just not being easy to dress. So there's a couple of reasons there, like 2 different reasons why I want to go down this path and just see if I can do it really. Also, it's going to be good to save myself some money because I am on maternity leave this year, so I'm not working, and so I'm not able to spend as much money as I would have done before. I had quite a healthy clothing allowance before that I used to give myself every month, but I don't have that anymore, so I have to think of more innovative ways to still enjoy fashion and still enjoy styling and style, but just not be, you know, frivolously flitting money away every month. So there's a few good reasons as to why I've decided to go down this route. Because of that, the first thing I did, and I think I started this around the beginning of June, so now we're sort of mid-July, and I didn't even, it wasn't even sort of to do with the capsule. I literally just looked at my wardrobe and I was changing between to moving all my summer clothes into my wardrobe and putting all my winter clothes away. And just whilst doing that, so whilst storing my winter clothes, I just had a look at the stuff that I was storing away. If there was anything I wasn't feeling, if anything I didn't really think I'm going to wear again next season, I just put it in a pile to give away or sell. So that was my first point. It was kind of like, assess the situation now. And so I just looked at my wardrobe. If there's anything immediately jumping out at me that I thought I'm not gonna wear next season or I'm not feeling, just get rid of it. So I've sold a lot of stuff on eBay and Depop. I've also given away a load of stuff, about 4 bags of stuff has gone to charity. So it's really great because it makes you feel so much more clear-headed for the path ahead. And also you're not being distracted by, you know, all this extra clothing when you're trying to curate that capsule. There's a lot less clothing to deal with. It's been really good because the stuff that I have left is now the stuff I'm going to be working with to create my autumn winter capsule. So point number 2 I would say is think practically and realistically and make a list. So what does my life look like now? And that's something that I had to think about because again, as I said, I'm going to be off work for a whole year, so my wardrobe, if I was doing this journey a year ago, would be much more work orientated, whereas now it's a little bit more casual. It's going to have a few different items in it than it would have done if I was going to work Monday to Friday. So it's about just really thinking about what your life looks like at present and not that dream wardrobe you want, if that makes sense, because you're going to end up wasting money on things that you won't be wearing, and that's not the point of this. So for me, I had to kind of really, it set me aback a bit because obviously when I was thinking of a capsule, I was thinking of lots of nice stuff from Cars and from brands like Me&M and Arquette and all of these kind of mid to high end high street brands. And then I realised actually that's not what this capsule is going to look like this year. So for my capsule wardrobe this year, it's going to be very different from my capsule when I go back to work. And that's okay, like it doesn't have to stay the same forever, but it needs to be realistic. So I realised that I'm going to need some nursing tops and things like that, or things that are a little bit more breastfeeding friendly because I'm hoping to breastfeed. So I had to realise, I had to kind of add that in my thought process. So when I was thinking about what does my life look like now, it's going to probably include some tops or some thinking about how I will be able to nurse in what I'm wearing. There'll be a few more sort of comfy trousers, I think, in there, or comfy dresses, much more less tailoring and things like that than I would have had before. But it still doesn't have to mean you lose your identity and you lose your style. You can still find those pieces that complement your life now, but are still within, you know, the way you like to dress. So I guess point number 3 would be research. So I have to think about ways to include more nursing friendly items, for example, in my wardrobe for this next year. And because I don't really like nursing clothes, I don't like maternity clothes, I've got to think of ways around it. So for me, that would mean more button-down shirts, for example, in my capsule than I might normally have, because that's going to help me, it's going to help facilitate my breastfeeding. A lot of mothers do a one-up, one-down thing where they lift up a top, but they're wearing a vest top underneath, so that they're still able to wear a lot of the stuff that they like to wear, but they don't have to expose themselves when they're feeding. And that's something that I think will work very well for me, because I prefer to wear my woven fabrics and not have to wear jersey fabrics. I prefer to wear round necks, as you know. So if I can do the one up, one down thing and feel very comfortable being covered up, that's probably something that I will do. And it means that I don't have to get rid of the majority of my wardrobe, because I have hardly any v-necked items and things like that, so I can still utilize a lot of the stuff that I've got. That was my kind of initial research. Everything else kind of was fine in terms of what's left in my wardrobe that I can start working through, but it was really the nursing issue for me that was something I needed to think about. And for you, it might be something totally different. So it's just about, once you've assessed your life where it is now, just research if there's anything that you might need to change in terms of the kind of clothes that you have in your wardrobe. So point number 4 is then kind of how many items do you want to work to? Now, this is something that I have struggled with. I think probably a lot of people struggle with this, and it's something that I've kind of decided I'm not going to sort of shoehorn myself into. So when I did some research about the capsule wardrobes, you know, some people have a very, very small, you know, 10 by 10 kind of capsule situation. Some people have 37 items is the kind of number that people tend to go with, and that includes footwear, and some people go up to as much as 50. And I think I'm working towards a number around 37 or 40 without shoes. But again, I don't think the number situation is something that you need to really sort of obsess about. As for me, I'm kind of looking at it as a lean wardrobe, as a capsule, in the sense that everything works together seamlessly. I'm not going to be splurging on random items. I wear all the pieces that I've got, and that's the thing that kind of stuck with me, because I was so obsessed with the number when I started looking at this, that I was starting to cut out items that I know I very much wear, like culottes, because it's not fitting within the trousers number. And I wear trousers and I wear culottes, and to me they're a different end use, so a different item. So for me, I've included 3 pairs of culottes into my wardrobe, and that's up the number, but I know that I wear them. I know that the tops that I have in my wardrobe all match with my culottes, and in fact I'll link my culottes video up for you guys to see. It's something that I like to wear, and it's not the same as a skirt. So I think if you have that situation where there's a couple of items, products in your wardrobe that you do use, you do enjoy wearing, they make you feel good, you get use out of them, don't worry so much about that number, because the whole point of this is that you're using what you have and you're shopping your wardrobe, and you're not buying new things. And I think if I got rid of my culottes, I know for a fact once autumn and winter comes, I would end up buying new ones to replace them, so that just seems pointless. So I haven't sort of held myself hostage to a number, and I'll need to go back and look at everything once I create the capsule. But right now I think I'm working to about 40 pieces, and that's excluding shoes. I'm going to struggle with shoes. Once you've kind of decided what you're working to, so I've decided what number I was working to, I kind of have a look at the clothes again, and then start pulling out things that I don't think are going to make the cut. So there's a lot of culling in between. There's the culling at the beginning, where I kind of just look at all my clothes and think, nah, I'm not going to wear that at all. And then there's that kind of harder cull now, where it's stuff that you still think you like, but you need to really sit down and be quite brutal about it now and start editing down and thinking, will this go in the capsule? Yes, I love this print, but it's the only thing that's in this, you know, my wardrobe that's this print. I struggle to wear it. I've hardly worn it. I should probably get rid of it. It's that kind of real serious thinking now, to get yourself down to some product categories and some product areas and clothes that you know you're going to wear. Finally, this is the point I'm at now. I've kind of got to that place, and I think it's now about research again for me. So it's quite much of a muchness in terms of these 5 points, but it's helped me get to a place where I feel like I'm almost there. And this research now is looks that I like for autumn winter. So this is my final step, which I need to now do. It's just having a look to see what kind of things I like to wear in autumn winter, the colour palette I like, if there's anything that I feel is missing. So once I've gone through my wardrobe and I've kind of had a look at the product areas and the clothes that I think I'm going to keep for my capsule, is there anything that's glaringly obvious that's missing? I've mentioned this to you guys before. I'm missing a black blazer and I still haven't got one. And so when I did this whole kind of clearing out, selling, giving away thing, I was conscious again that I don't have a black blazer, and that's something that I really would like to be in my core capsules. So that's something that I know will go on the shopping list. So I hope that's been helpful. It's kind of given you a little outline of what it is I am going through at the moment and the process that I'm going through. I mean, I started clearing out and cleaning out, you know, over a month ago, because it takes a little while to do. So I definitely recommend starting that now if you're wanting to capsule for autumn winter. I kind of want to have everything in place by September when the new season starts, because that's how I'm splitting up the seasons. September, October, November would be autumn. December, January, Feb would be winter, and so on. So it's every 3 months. In the next video, I'll share with you my inspiration, what I decided to keep from my wardrobe, the kinds of things I decided to get rid of. I'll share with you my shopping list, where I felt the gaps were, what I'm thinking of buying in those gaps, and that kind of second part of the prep, the kind of creating the wardrobe. And then in the next video I'll be able to show you exactly what that wardrobe looks like. Hopefully that will be in time for September when the new season starts. I hope this video has been helpful, so you can kind of see the process that I'm going through behind the scenes before we get to that third video where you get to see the rail of my capsule for autumn winter 18. If you enjoyed the video, please do thumbs up, and thank you for staying with me. I hope to be filming again very soon. Until then, take care guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.